Music was ripping, though.
The phone number for Loveline is 1-800-LOVE-191. That's 1-800-LOVE-191.
And now, here's Loveline with your hosts, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, it is. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Tomorrow night, we'll have the band Korn in here. And I know we'll get a lot of calls because they have rabid fans. Would you say that's true, Drew? You have no idea. Adam Goldberg is our guest tonight. Adam is one of the stars of a little independent flick called Saving Private Ryan. It's probably been the #1 film for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
My God. Mm-hmm. And as I was saying to Drew after the show, this is, I believe, one of the more important, or possibly the most important film that's been made in several years. I thought it was a moving, gripping, epic tale, and every American should see this. It's an important movie.
And European.
Yeah, everyone should see it.
And African.
Everybody except for the Poles.
No Poles.
They just hid from the Germans. That's all they did.
Oh, sure.
They didn't even slow down. A speed bump would have slowed down Hitler more when he entered Poland. You understand that? Like if someone fell over on a bicycle, it would have slowed him down more.
They were caught unawares.
I saw the movie about a week ago. I wept like a baby at the end. And I don't know if it was as moving to make as it was to watch. Did you get that?
It was probably more exhausting at the time than it was moving. And then I think we all had a pretty surprising reaction, actually, when we saw it, when the cast saw it. You know, genuinely, when you see a film that you participated in, you spend more time deconstructing your performance and the performances of the other people. And we, ourselves found ourselves weeping from beginning to end. And and it was a real genuine reaction. So it was both moving to do, but really moving to watch as well.
And there's all these. The story is the sort of mini boot camp that the principals, the actors, had to go through.
Not many.
Well, I mean, mini as opposed
relatively
to.
Speaking,
I think regular boot camp is maybe 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks.
But for actors, 5 days is a long time. Yeah.
Right, and this was what was it? A week, 5 days?
Yeah, I think it's been written as 10 days, but in fact, it was 6, and I think we got let out after 5 because we did bitch and moan so much. And
in a real hardcore ex-Marine commander type, put them through the regiment, and he didn't skimp.
Captain Dale Dye, yes.
And his last name's Dye, and that's great. And his middle name is Gook, and his last name is Dye. And now, where did you do this boot camp? Did you do it out here, or did you do it in Europe?
No, we did it in England, probably a mere 100 yards from these production offices, which, was a converted aerospace facility. But it felt like many miles.
Did it bond you guys together as a group?
It did. It created both an immediate sort of bonding experience as well as a lot of contention among us all in a pretty short period of time, but in an ultimately productive way. I think it lent itself to the authenticity of that.
And how was it, though? Your group, was everyone in it? Was it 6 guys?
It was Hanks, Sizemore, Eddie Burns, Barry Pepper, Vin Diesel, myself, Jeremy Davies, Giovanni Ribisi, so I think that's 8. Yeah.
And because I'm not sure, like if one guy died a little earlier, maybe he could only do half the camp.
No, he had to do the duration.
And they did the whole thing where you bivouacked in tents and drilled and marched in the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I myself shared a very small, antiquated pup tent with the largest cast member being Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Really?
So we spent.
Anybody just lose it during the boot camp?
Yeah, I think we all did at various points. I might have actually been the first to lose it after a couple of days. I found myself screaming about something. I don't really recall what. But yeah, it didn't take long. I mean, it was something that we did very begrudgingly, and in many ways kind of candy coat the experience now. But by the end of it, we were all extremely grateful for having gone through it, because without it, it would have been a pretty, inauthentic film. I think.
But at the time, even though you knew it was Spielberg, you knew it was Hanks, you knew the budget, maybe you didn't know the full scope of the movie. I mean, these are all actors. They all have a ton of credits to their name, and they're making another movie. Now, all of a sudden, they're sleeping in a tent instead of a Hilton, and they're pissed off.
Yes.
But looking back on it, I guess now you see it was important.
Yeah, I mean, and it was really easy to forget that we were actors. I mean, we were only referred to by our character names. We weren't allowed to make any anachronistic reference. I mean, we couldn't mention anything that, outside of the, that time period.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. And if we mentioned anything about, like, filmmaking or, like, our resumes or something like that,
50 push-ups.
Yeah, a swift steel-toed boot.
It's funny, but the brass over at Westwood One is the same way about equipment. If we mention a CD or a DAT player or something like that, they all spin out. Anything that doesn't use a vacuum tube, and they go insane. They won't permit it.
So you can relate, yeah.
Right. So now I heard, but you never know how this junk goes. So you can tell us, you can straighten us out on it. I heard that
or perpetuate the lie.
Within a few days, everyone was just ready to go AWOL.
Yes.
And Hanks gave people a talking to and said this is important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically, what happened was we all voted to leave. We were basically having a mutiny. And Tom voted to stay, and then everyone re-voted. I still voted to leave because it was important for me to maintain, my integrity and stick to my guns. And I also knew that once Hanks voted to stay, that everyone else would vote to stay as well. So I figured I might as well vote to leave. But it was certain things that he said, but really in conjunction with things that Captain Dye had told us. I mean, we were given a pretty moving sermon while rain was sort of pissing down on him, and we were underneath, this kind of tent. And for 10 minutes or so, just spoke about the importance of what we were doing and what we were representing. We found ourselves very moved, and really that kind of helped.
It worked because these guys looked like a unit, had been working together for a long time, and they just everyone looked like a soldier.
Well,
and I'll tell you, it is a great, powerful movie. Every American should really see this movie. They should show it in every school. They really should. Yeah. It was excellent. Drew, you going to see this movie?
Yep.
Are you? You really should.
I know I'm going to have to take like 3 days off afterwards, though.
Yeah.
This stuff affects me.
Yeah. I was too. Yeah, not since Mother Jugs and Speed have I been that moved. No, it was an incredible film. And Adam also did Dazed and Confused, which was another cool movie from about 5 years ago that I
wasn't invited into the station at that time, though. But that's okay.
If I had been here,
I know
you would have. All right, so we'll talk about Scotch and Milk and Ed TV and some of the other projects as the night wears on. You also may know him as Eddie, the crazy roommate from Friends, which is very strong character.
Thank you.
I hope it's a character. Cameron.
Yeah, I got a couple questions, but the first one's for Drew.
Yeah.
I was curious. I'm 21 years old, and I'm attracted to pregnant women.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normal?
Some people are. It's not abnormal. It's okay. I mean, you don't...
Are they outside of the family?
Yeah.
Not a mom, sister, aunt, or something?
What would be abnormal is if you weren't attracted to anything but.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is that what's going on?
No, I'm attracted to all women, but pregnant women, too.
No, that's fine.
You ever get any of those magazines?
No.
Lactating moms?
Yeah. Do they... You think they have to pay the kid who's in the womb, by the way, if they do pornography of the pregnant woman?
I'm sure there's some suits on record.
I like pornography, but, in general, but I don't like the novelty porn.
You draw the line there?
Yeah, I don't like the, here's what Grandpa used to have himself to porn, the 50-plus stuff. I don't like the pregnant stuff. I don't like the lactating stuff. I don't like the stuff involved with, like, amputees.
Sure.
I don't like the midget stuff. I don't like novelty stuff.
You don't like midget stuff?
No.
I think they prefer to that it be called little person stuff. Yeah.
Little people porn?
Yeah, little people porn.
Plus, you got the alliteration. Yeah.
Speaking about porn, Adam, I was wondering if we were going to get any good porn stars on the next few weeks or anything.
One of my chopped liver? I've done a few porns in my life.
Sure.
Of course, I haven't released them yet.
The guy the other night was kind of a jackass.
I think we're talking about straight porn, by the way.
Okay.
What's that, Cameron?
The guy the other night was kind of a jackass, so we kind of need a...
What other night?
Which guy?
David, I guess his name was.
David Allen Greer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we like him.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Yeah, he's a wonderful human. All right, Cameron?
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun, but don't go too hard. You'll break the water.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I don't understand that. Drew thinks I'm sick, but or not sick, but that I'm misogynistic in a way when I say that when a woman is pregnant, she becomes mama to me, and I don't want to have sex with mama.
Really?
Not only is it misogynistic, it speaks potentially for trouble for you down the line.
Really?
Because your wife's going to be mama.
Yeah, but
I mean, not necessarily pregnant mama, but mama.
Well,
she's going to have a child, and some men absolutely change at that point.
I got to tell you, if I get married and then when my wife gets pregnant, when she starts showing, I'm going to put her up at a Days Inn for like 6.5 months.
But the point is...
And even the first 2 years she has the kid, she's still going to stay there. I'm just going to show up on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's the point. That whole change of feeling of having somebody who is now a mother in your presence, that doesn't go away when the pregnancy's over.
Oh, really?
No.
Even if we lock the door?
Nope.
See, I have a question then.
Yeah.
What if, regardless of whether a woman is pregnant or not, they're all mama to me, which is...
Oh.
Is that not... That's not good?
If it turns you on, then it's going to work.
All right.
So, Drew, you're saying even after the mama has the kid, she's still mama?
Of course.
Yeah, but she's not mama. It's like people get paroled from prison, but they don't wear the striped suit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
you don't know they were in prison unless you see them with the striped suit.
But your wife's going to be carrying that striped suit with her all the time.
It's going to be hanging in the closet.
Now, we talking about a striped suit now? I've confused myself. All right.
You like to date prisoners?
Drew.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we got 2 Drews and 2 Adams here. It's a mess.
It's a nightmare.
You're 24. What's going on?
I need some help.
Yeah.
I'm 24. My girlfriend, the soon-to-be fiancé, she's 22. And she's a dancer. And
jazz, modern, tap.
Oh, I'm sorry, adult.
Oh.
And she's been doing that for probably about 2 years. I knew her about 6 months, maybe prior to us having a relationship. And she'd been through an abusive relationship. I mean, she would talk to me when I came in. I delivered beer to the club that she worked at. And then we started our relationship, and for the first year and a half, everything was going just fine. And then she became like real clingy as far as asking me questions like, well, if she really made me mad or really like pissed me off, would I hit her, or just really off the wall kind of things as far as like abusing her. And for a year and a half, those questions never had came up. And now all of a sudden they're surfacing like I'm going to turn into that guy. And she's talking about as far as marriage, and we have a good relationship.
She's trying to like
make him into that.
Coax it out of him.
Yeah, get him into being that.
It's interesting that he delivers beer to titty bars, and I'm thinking to myself, I'd love to put a stopwatch on him. He's in and out of the Korean grocery store in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. He dropped off 40 cases of Heineken, but it took him 6.5 hours to drop off a 12-pack of Miller at the titty bar. Is that how it works?
Not now. Not for the last year and a half. But no, seriously though, that's kind of the way it works, I guess, in some aspects. But,
yeah. All right. So,
I mean, I feel personally we have an excellent relationship as far as trust, and but just within the past 6 months, she's worried that if we do get married, she's not pushing the marriage issue, but that's what she had brought up, and was afraid that I would turn into this guy, and like she was going to be locked into me for the rest of her life.
Well.
What is she? Is it a topless or a topless and bottomless?
Explain why you're asking the question.
It's just a. I guess in Orange County in Orlando, you have to have it just bottom. You have to have bottoms. It's just topless with G-string. And just like I said, I mean, I don't think that has anything, I guess, indirectly, maybe it does, but the question, I guess, would be just that that has a lot to do with our relationship as far as having problems with when she comes home at night. She doesn't want to have anything to do with guys.
Yeah. All right.
She works 4 nights a week, so it's not like it's a major issue with me. I don't care if she's doing it.
Hold on a second.
He's very tangential. I don't quite follow him, but...
He's worse than I am.
In a way.
Yeah. I want to talk more about toast tonight, by the way. The reason I ask that is I have this theory, and Drew has a theory, but it's kind of a blanket statement when he says that any girl involved with any form of pornography or allurement is screwed up. And I said, I think it works, I don't know, incrementally, or works on a scale, which is if you're a bikini girl, you weren't molested when you're a kid, but if you're a topless dancer, maybe you got some issues with men, maybe dad wasn't so great. If you're a bottomless dancer, Uncle Lou may have felt you once. If you're doing hardcore pornography, you may be a victim of some sexual abuse, and if you're doing sex with those pot-belly pigs, somebody got you, a whole biker gang got you for a whole summer. You see what I'm saying?
When you were 4.
So it makes a difference to me what level you're at.
So you're trying to assess what her capacity is for a stable relationship, and so you're saying she's fairly low on the scale of dysfunction, so maybe she could have a stable relationship, even though her history is one of seeking out abusive relationships.
Well, she may be dying to take her G-string off, and it's just the law won't allow it.
Right, and look, you know what he's in for. I mean, she's used to abusive relationships. She's trying to sabotage this one or create some sort of reenactment in the present relationship, and Drew is clueless.
Right.
He's clueless.
But imagine your job is you pretty much your tools are beer and nudie bars.
A dolly.
Your tool's a dolly. Your product is beer, and your destination is the nudie bar.
You can't lose.
Yeah, I mean, how? I mean, I guess you could have some sort of tip jar in your belt or something, but boy, it just couldn't get any better than that. All right, so Drew, not Drew the boring one, but Drew who's leading the exciting life that every man would like to lead. Don't rush into marriage with this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Figure things out
Yeah,
first.
I just anticipate trouble here, and if she can sustain a relationship for a few years, then okay, but it's going to be chaotic.
Candy.
Yes.
You're 20.
Mm-hmm. And pregnant.
Oh, really? All right. What else is going on?
It's by an older man.
Could you put the Casio down and speak up into the phone there, Candy?
I'm sorry.
What is that?
It's my son's toy.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of Fellini-esque.
Yeah, it's really adding effect. How old is your son?
17 months.
Mm-hmm. And how far along are you now? You look at this as sort of a crossroads in your life, and look at getting a little therapy, straightening some issues out.
Focus on the one kid that you have. Focus on the one child that you have.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, okay, there's no problem here.
I was wondering, I don't want another child.
Okay.
Good. Get an abortion. Can you do that?
But I'm scared of that. I've always been against that.
How about adoption?
There wouldn't be a way I could do that.
How do you figure?
Carry a baby for 9 months and then give it up.
If you love the baby enough to do what's right for the child, that's a wonderful way to do it, to give it up for something that's more appropriate for the child, on the child's behalf. I mean, what more of a gift can you possibly give a child, and what a sacrifice too? I know women have to make, but I mean, that's what you have to do if you really care about the child. If you can't handle it yourself.
Candy? Drew was adopted. Is that true? No. Drew wasn't born. He was squeezed out of a bar rack. That's what it's. Swear to God, that's what his mom told me the other night. Candy?
Uh-huh.
All right, listen. Whatever you do, okay, let's just skip this kid for 1 second. Never get pregnant again until you're in your mid-50s.
Get on the pill. Hey, did you see some new data came out just today?
It don't work.
What?
It doesn't work?
How do you figure?
I'm in big trouble.
How do you figure? Because I got pregnant with my son that way.
Well,
you screwed it up.
You were doing something wrong. You run antibiotics, or you took it the wrong time during the day, something like that.
It's 98% effective.
99.9%.
Hold on, let me try something because I'm not sure if Candy knows how to use it properly. Did the pill keep falling out?
No.
Okay, I was just playing a hunch then.
But I was on other drugs.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
And the listen, some data just came out today that showed that being on the birth control pill may reduce the risk of ovarian cancer.
That's right.
Is that for chicks?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's not get into that. Okay. Candy, give the kid up. Either have an abortion or give the kid up for adoption. Can you imagine the environment that this kid is going to be raised in? I already got a 17-month-old. I swear to God that I can't believe this country of ours. We give the government the power to tell its citizens how to do in everything, what they can and can't do. You can't park here. You can't have a pot plant in your backyard. You can't do this. You can't. But we would never dream of telling them the most important thing, which is this. This Candy should have had a Norplant drip going. She should actually, some people just have Norplant in their arm. She actually, like one of those old hospital patients, wheeling around an IV pole filled with a sparklet bottle filled with Norplant juice in it, low overall, and just walk around while it just dripped into her vein. All right, sweetie, get some help. Don't go on autopilot. All right, Adam Goldberg's here. He's got a movie that he directed. But we're not going to go right off that.
Really?
No, because it's bad karma. it really is. We got to go to commercial.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Now, Adam is from Saving Private Ryan, by the way, which is I'm sure most everyone except for Drew has seen by now, and it's just a spectacular film. And we'll be back. Adam Goldberg is here from Saving Private Ryan. He was Private Mellish. He is all the way through this movie. He's in the platoon that saves Private Ryan, and I'm sure most people have seen this thing. And this was a spectacular piece of filmmaking. Everyone has seen it except for, of course, Drew. Dazed and Confused, you know him from Mr. Saturday Night. Ed TV, you want to talk about that for a minute? Drew, didn't you have some connection with Ed TV?
Yeah, I was on Politically Incorrect with Woody Harrelson, and they filmed a bit for that with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now,
where he's doing the talk show circuits for his book.
That's right, yeah. And I did some sort of faux talk show thing with, I can't remember who moderating.
What is Dick Cavett?
Yeah, sure.
Are you the brother?
I'm the buddy. Woody Harrelson's the brother. It's Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson as brothers. And I'm McConaughey's buddy.
And when is this? What kind of film is this?
I don't know.
What kind of film is this?
Comedy.
It's a comedy.
Uh-huh.
It's a comedy. It's a sort of less surreal kind of Truman Show-ish kind of film about a guy who's sort of filmed 24 hours a day, but agrees to do it. It's real world-ish.
When does it get released?
I believe in March or April, somewhere around there.
All right, and Scotch and Milk.
Yes, my vanity project, wrote, directed, co-edited, co-executive produced, a film starring myself, Nicky Katt, Giovanni Ribisi, who's also in Saving Private Ryan, Clea Lewis, Cole Hauser, Robert Pastorelli, Hubert Selby Jr., who wrote The Last Exit to Brooklyn, and Jimmy Scott, great jazz singer. It's a black and white, jazz-laden, noirish film that we premiered at the LA Independent Film Festival a couple of months ago.
I remember the first time I heard the film noir title, and I was doing sketch comedy, but at the time I was doing an improvisational scene. And somebody, they went to the audience for suggestions, and somebody said, okay, give us a type, a genre of film. You thought you were going to get horror film, whatever, Western. Some a-hole avant-garde guy in the back yells out, film noir! And, I'm from North Hollywood, so I'm standing there like a jackass and smiling and nodding my head. And then the lights go out, and it's time to start the scene. The other good one I ran into is give us a location. We're going to the audience for suggestions. 2 years later, doing same group improv. Give us a function, a location, something like that. They're at a Bris. Okay, lights out. Now I'm a agnostic, but I'm certainly not Jewish, and I'm from North Hollywood again. I don't know that the Bris is the Jewish ceremony.
Oh, you didn't know what it was?
Well, this is 9 years ago or something. This is the ceremony where the mohel cuts the foreskin off the penis.
Learn to speak.
This is before you had a Bris.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sitting there, and the lights come up, and naturally the other two people I'm in the scene with know what's going on.
The parents, you're the rabbi.
So we're all standing around, and he's like, hand me that scalpel, and like a rabbi voice. And I'm like,
rabbi voice.
Okay. All right. And he starts like saying a Yiddish prayer, and where's the Manischewitz? And I'm like standing like an idiot just wandering around the scene. Let me turn the music up. I'll go over here. Someone's at the door. I'm going to exit.
So you cut off his toe by accident.
No, I found out about I was thinking like feverishly the whole time, what is going on? What are we doing? And about 3 minutes into it, I realized what was going on, and I said, Rabbi, I'm going to heat the tar up. And
well, it's interesting, actually, because Scotch and Milk is a Bris Noir. So it's an interesting coincidence.
That is a genre I'd like to see. Matt.
Hi.
You're 18. You're on with Adam Goldberg from Saving Private Ryan and many other things.
Hi, Adam. I know you want to hear this. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yes.
Anyway, when I was...
Hey, let's call me Ace Rockola tonight.
No,
I like that better anyway, and it's confusing for Adam.
Can we call you Steve?
Okay, that's better.
That was the deal, actually, with my publicist. I don't know.
Matt, what's the
nickname?
No, I'm just me. Matt, what's going on?
All right. When I was 16, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and I was treated. I did the whole chemo thing, lost the hair, all that.
How far had it progressed?
I was in stage 2. It gotten into a couple of lymph nodes that were 2 by 4
in the pelvis, all right?
Yeah, and right down there in the groin area.
Yeah.
And I went through all that, and then I was clear.
Did you have any operation or anything?
No, they didn't give me an operation. The doctor I had doesn't like useless surgery things.
Do you know what the cell type was?
It was a germ cell. It was
Seminomas, maybe?
I think I had a whole mixture. It was like a whole smorgasbord.
You had chemo?
Yeah, I did.
How do you take chemo? Orally?
No, I got it. I had a little tube sticking out of my chest.
Yeah, a Hickman catheter.
Yeah, and I still have it. I got to keep it.
And it just hangs out?
No,
Yeah,
it's under the skin. It's under the skin.
At first,
they tap into it with a syringe?
Yeah.
Why they need the tube then?
It goes from under the skin to the subclavian vein.
Why don't they just stick the syringe in the subclavian vein?
Which
I rented last weekend, by the way.
It's a painful thing. You got to hit the clavicle, go under it, and then you can puncture the lung on your way through.
Well, I got good drugs during the whole thing, so
awesome.
I didn't.
Are you a real doctor or just a love doctor?
So what's going on now?
Anyway, I've been clear for a year and a half, and I graduated high school and all this stuff, and it's August, and all of a sudden I go in for a monthly test, and it wasn't good. So I went and had the CAT scan, and it showed that one of the lymph nodes is reacting again.
Okay.
And basically, I have it again. They did the beta HCG markers. They're elevated.
Okay.
And so what I'm looking at right now is a surgery and possible another chemo follow-up.
Right.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that's not the bad thing. Is I've been dreaming of going to college all my life.
Yeah.
And this is like August, and I've been getting ready all summer, and all of a sudden, all my friends are leaving for college.
Oof.
And I'm looking at come September 1st when I'm supposed to be in college, having to do chemo again.
Can you take a year off and work, something like that?
That's what I'm looking at. But the thing is, I have all these crazy, I want to go to school. And my friends are calling me, oh, we're going off to Maine next week to go to college. We're going off to California.
Where are you going?
I'm going to PLU, Pacific Lutheran University up in Tacoma. It's a really nice school, and I've been dreaming of going to that place.
Where are you calling from?
Portland.
No. I was going to suggest another school in Portland, but
Matt,
I don't know any.
This totally sucks, but...
Yeah, that's like the thing that I'm saying.
But listen, it's a treatable and usually curable condition, right?
Yeah.
And it just sucks that you have to go through it again, but you got to sort of plan in such a way that you leave enough room to do it properly and get it done and not try to cram it into a freshman year in college. So, you ruin that, too, just because you got to do it. I mean, maybe you can get there for the second semester, and maybe you can go visit and sort of get acquainted on weekends and things in the first semester. But, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, I know. But it's like, a little private school. They have the big 4-day,
Yeah, they have it every year, though.
Yeah, but, all my friends are going, and that's not my question. What I'm wondering is, I have all this stuff. I'm trying to get it out, but I don't like going to my mom because, she's in a mess right now, and, like, my dad, my dad doesn't like talking about it, so I don't know who to go and talk to about this kind of stuff.
Your friends, you can't talk to them
Well, they're
about
going to college.
Yeah, but you can't sort of unload on them, get pissed at them, but you don't get to enjoy it with them?
I just don't like to, unload. I don't want to vent on my friends constantly. I mean, is that a good thing to do?
Why? Yeah, it is. Why are you well, it's better to get drunk and punch him, but...
I don't drink or smoke or do any of that stuff, and that's the crappy part is I'm the straight-edge guy that got it.
Really? Oh, I swear, there's no God. There really isn't. Look at him, Mr. Clean, going to college. God says, I think I'll infect this scrotum sac with cancer.
It's a good, I'm a good Christian boy going to a good Christian school, and then that happened to me.
Well, maybe I ought to go over to Judaism. I think that's a sign.
I could go to junior college.
Hey, no, that sets you back too far.
Yeah.
You'd start smoking weed, you'd grow your hair out, you'd start surfing before class.
Well, I'm looking at no hair here pretty soon again.
So Matt, well, that's all right, because everyone's walking around that way anyway.
These days.
Wouldn't have worked well when Drew, could you imagine walking around with a shaved chemo head when you were going into college? Drew's, it looked like Farrah Fawcett his senior year of high school. Hey, wait a minute, Matt.
Yes?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me ask Drew something about your scrotum. I'm going to speak to him privately. Why did this come back?
I mean, no cancer treatments are 100%. Mm-hmm. I mean, very, very few.
Yeah.
There's always a chance of recurrence.
What do they have to operate on now?
I suspect they'll take the testes and a testy and some nodes.
Take it out?
Valves. Yeah.
Not put it back?
No.
But you only need one.
Right.
And then they'll put a fake one in.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Got to get me one of those for my keychain.
Are they going to take out a testy, or are they
Oh,
just?
they did that last year. I'm the 180 guy.
So now they're going to just do the pelvic exploration, right?
Oh, they're going to go in and do a lymph node
dissection.
Dissection. They're going to take them out and see what's up.
No, brother. No, listen, Matt. Well, what is the deal with your mom? She doesn't want to hear about it?
Oh, no, I just don't like unloading on her because she's, she is like the most, caring person in the world, and I love her to death. But
she's freak. Yeah, that's all right. Your parents sound like pretty decent people, and it's they're what? They're good?
Yeah, they're great people.
All right, well, go ahead and unload on them then. They're your parents. They're great people.
Don't worry quite so much about everybody else.
Oh, could you imagine?
Good friends you can unload on. I mean, you have every right to. I mean, friends that are friends are there to help you manage just this kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, don't worry. You go to college next year. I know it sounds like a long time.
A lot of people regret not taking their first year after high school off also.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I went to high school with.
He though wants to matriculate with his friends is the deal. Wants to be there with them. It's just not in the cards, I don't think.
You know, when I graduated high school, I had a choice. I was either going to hitchhike through Europe, or I was going to go to Van Nuys and work for an a-hole cleaning carpets. I chose to clean the carpets.
Of course.
With Everlasting, the guy's now in prison for murder. But I really regret it now. I wish I'd hitchhiked through Europe.
Did you ever hitchhike in Van Nuys? Because that can be...
No, that just driving through Van Nuys is enough of an experience. Where'd you go to college, Adam?
Well, I went to Sarah Lawrence College in New York for a year.
That's a lesbian school, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It is? It is. Was Sarah Lawrence a famous lesbian?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know that they had invented that by that.
I see.
But,
they called it something else.
Yeah, I think. No, for a long time it was an all-women's school, and by the time when I had gone there, it was still predominantly women, which was a motivating factor.
That is genius.
It was not a bad move on my part. However, I still dropped out ostensibly to take a year off, and ended up taking. It's now been 9 years. So.
Well, is it now? You see, on one hand, you have the math on your side, which is it's 80% females and 20% male.
Yeah.
But 75% of the 80% females are lesbians, so you're kind of screwed.
Right, and the other ones are going out with the super good-looking guys. So
right.
And that left me in my room and several issues of the Victoria's Secret catalog, which at the time were back catalogs because they couldn't get them in Sarah Lawrence.
Oh, I've been there, except for the college part. It's my life exactly, except for the part about the college.
Yeah.
True?
Yep.
All right, so he's going to be all right? It's treatable cancer?
Yes.
Okay. You're not going to tell me something else off the air?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll be back.
We liken it to sort of giving an animal a medication.
Hold on, Drew. Not an animal, you idiot.
I'd say it.
You want your dog to take an antibiotic because it's got the worms, right? Now, what do? You give the dog the antibiotic, it puts it in its mouth, it spits it out on the floor, it doesn't eat it. You need it to take this medicine, so what do? You take the pill,
and
you
so
smack
we
it
appreciate
down.
that, Adam, very much.
No, he's going to be legitimate.
No, forget it.
He put in some Gainsburger and let him eat.
Just go ahead with your interview. Let's get this over.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Jamie Kennedy, and you're listening to Loveline with Ace Rockola and Dr. Drew.
Oh, yeah, from the screens. Adam Goldberg from Saving Private Ryan. One of the stars. I don't mean a guy who was like in the background, pissing in a canteen or something. He was in the troupe.
I had a close-up.
Oh, all the way through.
Yeah.
I think they had to Taft-Hartley him. He had so many lines.
No, I think I got sagged from that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was a brilliant movie. The cast was brilliant. It was really just really one of the best films I've ever seen in my life. It was just spectacular. And it's weird when people... What are you laughing at?
Myself, for not having seen the country.
Go see this movie. Every American should see this. It's an important movie.
Obsessed with the American aspect of it.
Well, listen, we're not on in Latin America. So.
And it hasn't opened, so it's a good point.
It hasn't. But you were talking earlier about how we've lost touch with our history. And the sacrifices that have been made. I mean, that's just one more of many that people sacrificed for.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you take everything for granted. You're pissed off at the government. You want everything to be handed to you, so on and so forth. But a lot of guys died just so you could be pissed off at the government.
Well, one of the reasons we have such a huge, strong federal government right now is that war. I mean, it needed that in order to carry off the Second World War.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't dismantled itself since then. In fact, it's grown quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they've made many a graphic movie about Vietnam and other conflicts, but I've never seen World War II depicted this
As
way.
it really happened, perhaps.
Right. It was a bunch of John Wayne, a bunch of guys passing around a flask in a bunker, talking about their sweet girlfriends back in Alabama and all. But it wasn't. They weren't real people. They were just movie guys. Guys, with a big handful of pomade in there, diving on grenades and doing a bunch of BS.
Somehow they always had pomade handy.
Yeah, the thing that's funny about movie making is the people wear the hairstyle of whenever the movie was made. You make a movie about Lincoln's assassination. If it's made in the 50s, Lincoln's hair slicked back, But you don't notice it because everyone's wearing their hair in that style. Now, when you go back and look at, like, one of these old Gunsmokes, and you see that, Fess Parker's got his hair slicked back, and it becomes distracting later, but they make it's sort of like what happened with Happy Days. Happy Days was supposed to be done in, like, the 50s, but it was really done in, like, 77, 78, 79. So, Potsy's got the big fluffed-up hair, and Ralph Malph's blown dry in his hair, and it's supposed to be 1957,
Feathered
right?
pompadours.
All right. So not only can you find Adam in Saving Private Ryan, but you can rent him in Days of Confused. That is a good movie. And this Saturday night, Ed TV coming up, and Scotch and Milk, which is his own personal baby, which is not out yet, but God willing,
But
it
for
will
sale,
be.
call in. You can have it $50.
Hey, listen, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but how about getting me involved with one of these projects?
That's fine.
You can clearly see I'm a talent.
Absolutely.
Shut him down.
It's a done deal. Yeah.
Heather.
Don't you want to break me?
Heather.
Don't you want to be responsible for that?
I thought we were going to talk about that off the air.
Heather.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm fine.
What can we do for you?
First, I listen to the show every night. I love the show. Okay.
Thanks.
I'm nervous. Sorry.
Okay.
You're nervous. I'm here.
Huh?
I'm terrified.
Well, I was calling to ask you some questions. But first I wanted to tell you I saw the movie like the Friday it opened, and it's probably the best movie I've ever seen.
Oh, awesome.
I'm 16, so I probably shouldn't have seen it because it made me cry so many times.
No, I think it's a good thing for kids to see the film. I mean, not necessarily 13 or 14-year-olds, but had I seen that film when I was in high school, it would have educated me. I think a great deal.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between gratuitous violence and violence that has a cause.
Historically accurate.
I mean, Hitler's going to take over Europe and then take over the world, and somebody's got to get killed in the meantime.
Yeah.
It's not just this sort of slasher movies.
Yeah.
Well, it disturbed me, but I don't think it was because it was gratuitous or anything. I think it was because I knew that it wasn't made up.
Yeah.
I think that was it. But I wanted to ask you what it was like working with Spielberg.
Well, at first it was very daunting, the prospect of working with him, and a little bit intimidating, but which I guess is the same thing. And then it became extremely comfortable. He was extremely receptive to our ideas. And asked for our input a great deal and allowed us to improvise much more than I expected. And it was very collaborative, which was really kind of surprising. But it was a very satisfying experience.
And how was it surreal at any point where you're you're standing in between Hanks and Spielberg and talking about nothing, perhaps?
Yeah, oftentimes it was. But, I mean, those guys really are so normal and down to earth that after a few... I mean, once in a while, if you forget that, and you sort of, you turn your left and, Steven's standing there, and turn your right, and Hank's standing there. It's a little... I think more than anything, it was surreal during this boot camp experience to be, sort of waking up after 3 hours of, delirium, and running 5 miles and turning to your right and seeing, Forrest Gump essentially running alongside you. That was surreal. But yeah, it soon became, everyone was, like just a group of guys, kind of hanging out. So.
I had one more question. I've watched a lot of talk shows with Tom Sizemore and Edward Burns and other people, and they all had stories of how veterans had come up to them and they'd just had these emotional moments with veterans, I guess, and I know that the film kind of shocked me. There was one scene with you that I couldn't even watch. It made me cry. I couldn't watch it.
What happened? What?
I
You don't want to give it away?
Yeah,
No.
probably better not to give it away. But it's a disturbing...
You can probably tell the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But, did you have any moments like that with veterans coming up to you, or?
Yeah, well, before the premiere of the movie, Stephen Ambrose, who is, a D-Day...
historian?
Yeah, exactly, a D-Day historian, hosted a reception for the cast and crew and some World War II veterans. And, I met several of them, and they were... it was incredibly moving because... it was such an honor to meet them, and I found myself, thanking them and being really honored by their presence, and they were very honored by our presence, and that was one of the most satisfying things about doing the entire film, because it was, so important for us to try to depict these guys as authentically as we could, and the ones that we met really seemed to think that we did, and that was incredibly moving. Yeah.
You don't know this, Adam, but I read for the part of the glider pilot.
Is that true?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
The shaken glider pilot.
Yeah.
You would have been good.
I was horrible.
Were you really?
I was a mess.
Really?
I was more shaken than the glider pilot.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Really was. I was sitting there like an idiot. When you see the movie, you go, oh, yeah, that's the guy.
That's how I'm supposed to do it.
There's this whole big, long speech about flying a glider, and I got too much unsprung weight, and I got a steel plate under it because a general's on the board, and we got a Jeep. And
what you shouldn't have said is a funny thing happened to me on the way to the airfield. I think that's probably where you blew it.
I tried to work a little. I tried to open with a joke. But the point is that I was like reading this thing, and it didn't really, I didn't read the whole script. I just read my part naturally because reading's such a chore for me. And it sounds like, what the hell is all this about with the glider?
There's sure a lot of words here.
Yeah, and there's them big long uns. Jesse.
Yeah.
Hey, you're 23.
Yeah. And Ace Rockola, you're much funnier than Mr. Headbanger Ball was.
Oh,
I'm just so glad that you're with Dr. Drew now.
Oh, thank you.
I'm calling because basically I'm really sexually frigid, and I've been this way for years, just growing up, and I want to stop that, and I'm wondering, how plausible it is after growing up with, so many sexual issues and stuff, of actually having
What are the issues?
Family member touching type thing in grammar school. My first sexual experience, I was date raped when I was 14. Just a lot. And got married really young. I now have a 4-year-old. Divorced, even younger. But
How old are you?
23.
23.
Going on 47.
Right.
But a lot of it is I don't want my daughter growing up so closed off, and I'm in a really great relationship now, and I've been in it for 1.5 years, and I have a great companion, and it hurts him that I can't be spontaneous, but it has to be such a chore for me to know right now, okay, now it's okay, now we can have sex because I decided beforehand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can't just approach you.
Right, and he was really great about it, and he's really like, yeah, I'll work with you on this, but I really don't know how to go about that because, I didn't even realize until I was with him that was abnormal. I just thought, oh, yeah, you just decide, and then it's okay.
Right.
It's more complicated than I think you expect. It's certainly tied in with some pretty heavy ishes.
How old was the guy date raped you when you were 14?
He was 16.
Yeah. And what happened earlier before that? Something with your dad?
Yeah, in grade school.
That was your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
obvious, huh?
Yeah, we gotta we gotta go to break, but we'll dissect it when we come back. That impulse to me, no matter how effed up you are, to approach your kid in a sexual way is bizarre. To me, it'd be like diving into cactus.
Yeah.
It's just where do you even how are you able to do it?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care how drunk I am, how high I am, how effed up I am. I couldn't I couldn't hold my hand over a flame. I just couldn't. I'd move it, and I couldn't imagine approaching a kid, especially my own kid, sexually. It sort of defies imagination. it's a horrible component in human beings. I want to start over. I'll keep you because you're a talented actor. You may put me in a movie, but I want to do the. You hear about the weed and seed program. I just want the weed. I don't. Wait a minute, that's something else. But I want to just kill all the weeds in this country, and I don't even want to put any new seeds down. I just want to thin the herd.
Travis Bickle, ladies and gentlemen.
Who is that?
Taxi driver.
Oh yeah. See, I saw it. I should have the sound up. All right, we'll be back.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
All right. Adam Goldberg's here from Saving Private Ryan, a brilliant movie, and he was excellent in it as well as the rest of the cast. Adam was saying before we came in here, we were talking a little, that he went to a private school, which was down the street from my public school. Mm-hmm. There was North Hollywood High, and just a stone's throw from North Hollywood High, there was like Wood Creek or something. There was, what was the name of the school?
Oh.
They always said the word creek or wood. Or
Oakwood, Wood Creek.
Oakwood, right. Didn't I tell you whenever you have a private school, you got to work the name of a tree into it?
You did say that.
Pinecrest, Pineview, Oakwood. Oakwood's the middle of North Hollywood. You couldn't. The closest Oakwood is the closest oak could be Terry Lumber, which would be out on Lancashire in Vineland. Somewhere, but this was the hippie school.
Right. Well, you guys were sparring. We were making lanyards.
Right. Did you now see? I went to a hippie school, or as my friends would call it, a free range school.
Free range.
Yeah,
I see.
They're making fun of me,
right?
Like the chicken.
Mm-hmm, I get it.
You let them run around and eat stuff off the ground, and not wear shoes. I went until the 5th or 6th grade,
mm-hmm.
and then I had to go to the fenced-in concrete jungle that was
North Hollywood High.
Walter Reed,
Walter Reed,
junior high, and then of course over to North Hollywood. But you went to the hippie school,
right? You beat me up.
Yeah, but see, I didn't go that way. I didn't mess with those people.
Really?
Yeah. See, the problem is North Hollywood High was just down the street from Oakwood, and when school would let out, all the crazed, mean, drug-infested, crab-riddled, pissed off at their one parent, by the way. I was going to say parents, but they don't know both of them, would head down the street and walk right past Oakwood after school, and there were the sissy boys hanging out.
Well, they'd stop at the Taco Bell. They fuel up.
Stop at the Taco Bell. They carb up, and then they'd keep going. Right. And there were guys like Adam wearing knickers and bow ties standing out there.
Not so much knickers and bow ties.
No,
more
like Birkenstocks and like a tie-dyed unisex shirt.
Bell-bottom corduroys.
Exactly.
Right. And they were like kind of, they were kind of like rich hippies.
Woof.
Would you say that was fair?
Yikes. Okay.
The school, it costs something to go to school like that,
It's not
right?
a cheap school.
Right. So the people had money, but they weren't upper crust types. They were more left-wing types with money.
Bourgeois
right?
proletariats.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. See, I couldn't say that because I was at North Hollywood High.
Exactly. But that's what I learned at Oakwood.
Right.
How to insult myself.
And now I'm guessing you went to. Did you go? How many years did you go there?
6.
Okay, so it was like junior high and high school.
It's what we call secondary school, Adam.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know anything. I went to one of those schools, too, except for it was the Little Lord Fauntleroy school. It wasn't the hippie school.
Right.
Am I right, Drew?
Oh, of course you're right.
Has it turned hippie later on?
No.
No, it never was.
No.
But you know what I'm talking about?
No.
There's 2 types of private school. There's that wear the jacket with the school crest monogrammed on it, and then there's the free range.
Right.
Kathy.
Yes, this is Kathy.
Yeah, okay, Kathy. You're 28. Oh, we have to say that our last caller that was felt up by her dad and date raped and all this kind of stuff was accidentally hung up on when Drew yanked the phone out of the wall and threw it against the glass in the operating room there. So we are not able to follow that.
And there was a lot we wanted to know, too. I mean, she was in one of those intermediate situations where she might be able to make some change on her own.
Right. Well, but listen, we'll try to get her back, but if your dad feels you up,
it's going to have an influence, but how much and how, she's had a quality relationship going. Maybe she could make change if this was a safe, trusting relationship. So there was some room to grow there.
So good luck, though, right?
Well, let's get her back.
Yeah, good luck.
Get her back. Kathy, what's up?
Okay. Are you listening?
We're listening.
Okay.
That's I felt that to be condescending.
It's all right.
So you're going to cut her off?
She just wanted to be actually sure that we were, because we were so busy talking
It
about
could have been
ourselves.
inquisitive.
Yes. She's just wondering. Are we listening?
All right, Kathy.
Go. All right, go.
Okay. I've been married for 7 years, and I have a 40-year-old daughter with my husband. And lately, actually not lately, probably like about the last year and a half, we've been like totally fighting a lot. And I've been thinking about a separation. Now, everybody is advising me against that because they think like, oh, what are you going to do when you separate? You know, what are you going to do? He'll do something, and then you guys will never get back together. So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, the separation was something that was, I sort of remember starting when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My parents separated for 9 years, and then they got a divorce, but... true,
they ever get
absolutely
divorced?
true. They actually did get divorced at some point, but the point, or my dad would have been guilty.
See, my
of
parents got
polygamy.
divorced and then years later separated.
But true, where's
we
the
won't get
hi
into
hat
that.
when you need it? But I
we have a,
don't know if it still works. Is what I'm saying.
We have a 4-year-old daughter.
Right.
Okay.
What are you fighting about?
We're fighting about everything.
Like what?
He's just like, lately, it's like I see that he's constantly like on edge. He'll like fight with the neighbors if they make noise at night. He calls the police. He can't sleep at night.
Is he doing?
Everybody's making noise. I can't sleep. Blah, blah.
Is he doing crystal or something?
No, he's not.
You
He's
smoke
like,
pot?
Wait a minute, who's Crystal?
No,
Your sister?
he does no drugs. He doesn't even drink anymore.
What's the
He's
joke
an
there, Drew?
ex-Navy SEAL.
Uh-oh.
Now he's a firefighter.
Yeah.
And now it's like he has to get up at 4 in the morning, which I understand. And it's like we lived in a place where there was a lot of young people and they partied, and so he like basically like fought all our neighbors off.
Yeah.
And now I moved east, which was closer to my work, and it's hotter here, and he's really mad. He blames everything on me. We're in a miserable hellhole, hot hole, blah, blah, blah. Everything's my fault and everything.
All right,
and
so
he's just,
he sounds
all
very...
he does is bitch.
He's very unhappy for some reason. What
Well,
does
this guy, I'd like to hang out with this guy. Sounds like me. All I do is sit around and complain about
Does sound like you. In
yeah,
fact,
goddamn kids with the noise.
I kind of had a moment with Kathy there for a second. Like,
You know
oh, wait,
what?
I know somebody like
I
that.
sit around and complain about the heat all day. That's
No,
all I do. I sit in my air-conditioned house and complain about the heat.
Damn, it's
No.
hot outside.
Man, if I were outside, I'd be miserable.
Hot for him. He loves our daughter. He never has a problem with her.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
good
by the
with her.
way,
he's a really good...
All right, hold on. Quiet down. The guy's a fireman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really shouldn't be disturbed that greatly by the heat, if you really think about it. I don't want a fireman who's disturbed by the heat too much, because if he doesn't like a balmy evening in August, why is he coming into a building that's on fire?
No, he's putting the fire out.
Yeah, but with all that equipment.
You
Oh,
see?
I
he
see.
wants
Very
to put
symbolic.
the fire out.
Very, very
He
symbolic.
wants to put the sun out. You see what I'm saying?
Put the sun out.
All right.
All right, Kathy.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's not happy. What does he tell you the reason?
No.
Okay.
He's not
well,
happy.
everything's my fault. The reason we moved to this East County part of San Diego, we lived in Portland, and now we live in East County,
Right.
that I make up my mind to do whatever I want to do,
Right.
and it doesn't matter what he thinks. It's everything that I want to
Is
do.
that true? Is that true, or is that just how he feels?
Well,
All right. She waited too long. Listen, this Kathy sounds like a royal pain in the ass. I got to be honest with you. He's no gem. Believe me, he's no gem.
Yeah,
But I think they deserve each other.
yeah, they could work it
Now,
out.
she was a pain in the ass the first second she came on the air, and she sounds like a pain in the ass now, doesn't she? I mean, honestly.
Supportive, it really is.
Well, what I mean is we talked to a lot of people,
Right.
And I can pick out the troublemakers
Really?
in a heartbeat.
Okay, fair enough.
I should really go into law
I'm just a
enforcement.
visitor. I mean, you know.
I can lock.
Either that or psychic partners or something.
No, Kathy is a pain in the ass.
Look.
She'll admit she is, but he's no better.
Right.
He's probably worse.
Right.
Kathy, you are a pain in the ass, right?
no, I'm not a pain in the ass. I try to, like, everything that happens in life, I look at it like, oh, well, you know, it'll be over with. Everything will get better.
You're very hang loose.
Yeah, but
Yes,
but
exactly.
wait, Kathy.
He's, like, bitching about every...
I understand, but you're being a pain in the ass to somebody else has nothing to do with how you feel about stressful circumstances.
Oh, okay.
It's
so
about
I'm
how
being
you're able to
nasty.
empathize with other people and their needs. If you're always constantly worried about yourself...
No, I'm not even worried about myself. I always tell him, like, please, you know, knock it off. It's like,
Yeah.
let them party. So what?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Therefore, it shouldn't bother you.
Right.
Right.
Okay, see?
Thank you.
Kathy, you just made my point for me.
Hey, Kathy, why don't you guys get a little couples counseling and see if you can work
We've
it out
already
that way?
tried that.
How'd that go?
And he
said it
told
was
our
too hot in the
counselor-
therapist's office.
He told our counselor everything was my fault. And also, let me tell you one thing here, okay?
Uh-huh.
It's like he hates all my friends.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like when we first met, me and him would go out all
All
weekend
right.
long
Yeah,
and
everybody
party
had a
and
good
everything.
time. Drew and I liked each other when we first met.
Exactly.
A long time
and we'd
ago.
go out and party and drink together and everything, and then he stopped completely. And I still want to go out on the weekend with my friends.
All right. Listen,
And he hates all my
Kathy,
friends.
quiet down. Listen to me. You try counseling and you give it a real shot, and if that isn't working, then I guess you file for divorce. I'm not nuts about the separation thing.
Yeah.
I think all it does is one of the two gets laid and the other's pissed. That's what separation is to me.
Yeah. Not bad.
And this Kathy's good looking. I can tell she's good looking because she's a pain
She's
in the
a
ass.
good-looking pain in the ass.
Kathy, you're an attractive woman?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because otherwise I would have told her to quiet down a long time ago. I know when a woman is good looking.
Well, I'm all for divorce.
Well,
just in general.
I think that both of them are probably terrifically narcissistic people.
Yeah, I bet they both spend a lot of time in front of the mirror.
Well, I don't mean preoccupation,
No,
but they're
they spend time in front of
not vain people, but they don't empathize with each other. They don't listen to each other's needs.
Right.
And unless they can learn to do that, they're going to be in trouble.
I'm starting to think they both deserve each other.
Well,
That's what I think.
Similar personality styles tend to go to one another. I mean, if she ends with this guy, she'll find another one just like him.
Good point. All right. So, try counseling. If that doesn't work, get divorced.
But the counseling is not just a couple sessions.
Yeah.
Talking out for many months.
Oh, yeah. And listen, guys, you got to learn when you go to a counselor. I tell you, the greatest thing about counseling, I don't know, Adam, if you've ever done this with your girlfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, but I've done it before.
Yeah.
It keeps you in line the whole week.
Yeah, you can't really BS.
Yeah, because you know that one time that you come home drunk and you make an ass of yourself, or you blow some event off, or you forget about a birthday or a wedding, a holiday, whatever. You know it's going to haunt you.
Yeah.
You know at 2 o'clock on Wednesday you're going to be sitting in an office with two pissed off broads. They're going right for the nads.
And you're going to have to pay for it.
Absolutely, and literally and figuratively.
Right.
Jesse.
Hi.
What's going on?
I'm back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She hung up on me.
Yeah, that wasn't our fault. We fired Lisa and Cher.
She was so nice, too.
Oh, yeah, they're very nice.
It was such a shame.
That sums it up.
And now you're having difficulty responding to your good boyfriend, your relationship right now, which is a quality one.
Yes, amazing.
And what is it you were able to do? I mean, you guys together once a week, once a month?
Well, probably twice a week now, but, I mean, it took so long to just work up to that. Long.
Not that bad. Yeah, that's
Sexually, twice a month?
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Oh, twice a week?
That's above average.
Don't project.
But, like in my marriage, when I was married for that whole flipping year, it was like once a month tops. And so, but I mean, I'm in a great relationship. I feel like I'm ruining it because, I mean, sometimes it's not even the twice a week. And he feels like I shut off so much, and I really don't know how not to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what scares me. Am I ever going to be able to not shut off?
I'm looking for a woman who can close down emotionally when we have sex.
Is it just during the experience that you're shut off?
Well, it's like right before. If I'm not like prepared like an hour before, like an appointment on the calendar, then I can't do it.
But you managed to do that twice a week.
Well, no, because it's like, okay, tonight at midnight, or tonight when you get home from work, or tonight when
But that's better than it used to be, though.
Yeah,
but you are doing it twice a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. I don't want to be so cold, and I don't know how to not do that.
They have a beer.
There's no easy answer. I mean, you've made change. You've hung in with this, and you're still present during these intimate encounters in the relationship. And with more time, I mean, present emotionally.
Yeah.
It just takes a while for you to get to it, and with more time, that will continue to improve. I mean, if you really want to get at the material that's affecting you, it's going to take a long time in professional.
I went out to lunch with MTV's Kennedy today.
Yeah.
Or I don't know where she is anymore, but we'll just call her Kennedy.
Yeah.
Ex-MTV or Kennedy. And we got in a little debate about, therapy versus sort of hanging out and being strong and working your way through problems. She's a Republican, and Republicans believe you can will your way through abuse, will your way through, a ritualistic abuse and things like that. That if you're strong enough, you can pull yourself out of, years of being abused physically or sexually. But I told her that I agreed to some degree, which is you get some therapy, you get a few answers, and then you go out and try to apply it. But certainly it'll expedite it if you have therapy. There is such a thing as sort of working through your problems yourself, but it's real rare when it comes to matters of incest like this.
She believes in behavior modification.
Which
is if you could find ways to tolerate the feelings that are preventing you from doing the behaviors you wish to do, if you can find techniques to manifest the behaviors comfortably, you'll do it, and then you'll grow or react emotionally as a result of having manifested the behavior, and then you'll work through that. Now,
or the problems will sneak up years later.
That happens all the time. That's what I see all the time. Now, I think behavioral therapy is good. It's certainly, if we could select the perfect person for it, it's an excellent modality. It's been, people probably call me and argue about this, but the clinical experience I've had, the people that stay focused on behavior therapy, there's an epiphenomenon, there's a reaction eventually, because the personality structure really never changes.
Let me tell you, I'm sorry, Adam,
I was just going to, can we ask her a question, or do we hang up on her?
No.
Do you still have a relationship with your father?
Yeah, I think that's probably the twisted part.
Why is that twisted?
I don't know. I can't let that one go.
It's your father.
Yeah.
That's most people.
Well, what is he?
I actually, at one point in my life, confronted it.
Yeah.
And, and it was this big, huge cry fest and, this big, huge denial thing on his end. And
what did he say?
Just that he didn't remember anything like that. And
is he sobered up?
Yeah.
Was he drunk at the time?
And coked out.
All right.
Okay.
How many did he do it a lot, frequently?
About 6 times. So it wasn't over years.
You know what? Is he in a recovery program?
He's done. I mean...
You're never done.
Well, he's not done if he can't remember.
You tell him he has to make some amends to you.
Yeah.
And if he can't do that, he needs to get back with his sponsor and work on it.
Yeah.
Listen, my mom forced me to go camping with her and her hippie buddy Zorback when I was 14. I'm still pissed.
No, you can't get it up when you go camping now.
Anytime I smell hickory burning, I lose
immediately
it.
flaccid. Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine the feelings. I swear to God, I'm pissing my dad because he didn't go to my Pop Warner football games. I couldn't imagine him putting his thumb in my ass and how I would feel about him today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's difficult.
So let me tell you what a loser I am. Kennedy calls me today at noon, just out of the blue. Hey, I'm in town. She lives in Seattle or something. Hey, I'm in town. When I go to lunch, I go...
No, come to my house. This is Adam. Why don't you come on up here?
It was.
That's what you said, right?
Good response. Yeah, that's what I said.
You always do that. That's why Jimmy was yelling at you the other day.
Yeah, come over to the house.
Yeah,
and she said, I can't. I don't have a car. So I said, okay, Kennedy, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to come down there. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to be there in a half hour. I'm going to buy us lunch. You are going to call Alamo or Hertz or something. You're going to
Alamo. That's so obscure.
You're going to get I work for Alamo during the day.
I thought that's what
I was wearing the vest at the time, so it reminded me. I said someone's got to detail those chevettes. But I said, Kenny, call the place. I'm going to come pick you up. We're going to eat lunch and make sure the place is somewhere between where you are staying and my house because I don't want to backtrack and drop you off at the rent-a-car place. So picked her up, bought her lunch. Said, did you call the rent-a-car place? No. Why not? I had to call New York. For Christ's sake. Okay. So I dropped her off, and I think it was an Alamo or a Hearst or something. Anyway, she rented a car. Then she came over to my house. We watched TV for about a half hour, and she goes, I'm tired. I could go for a nap. I said, me too. And we took a nap.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She napped on the sofa. I went up the bedroom nap. Didn't masturbate for a change. I'd keep it, keeping it real,
Yeah, he did.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Really?
No, it was just a scant 15 minutes later, but after I woke up from the nap. But I took a nap. She took a nap. I wandered down about 5 in the afternoon in my slippers with a semi-wood and a pair of shorts, and saw her off. She had to go to a meeting. And I thought, geez, what a... how late...
You got her off? She had to go to a meeting?
How late...
saw her off. That is embarrassing.
I was thinking, how lazy can you be? You're just sitting around in the afternoon and you agree to eat and nap with somebody you find out's in town.
It's cute.
Isn't it? Is it quaint?
Well, it's much better than if you went to Kings Road or something. Or,
Right. All right. Well, let's talk to Joe for just 1 second. Joe?
Yeah.
17, cousin called in before. She's still getting molested by her dad. Hold on a second.
Your cousin wasn't the one with the psychiatrist father, was she?
No. She,
Hold on a second. Drew, I don't want to... everyone here has been felt up by their family. Can we find somebody who's like big breasts or something?
Hi, I have big breasts, and I just want to say hi.
How come his epilepsy medicine doesn't work sometimes? No, that's too painful. Jack is 16. Hurts when girlfriend gives him oral sex.
All right.
Good.
All
Now we're talking because he isn't circumcised. All right. Now we'll talk to Jack and then we'll get back to Jonah's cousin. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel so liquidy.
Really? Why? You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, I'll be right back.
On 92.1 KFMA.
Hi, this is Sean Lennon, and you're listening to the Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Oh, yeah. Who was that? I don't have my headphones on. Oh, Sean Lennon. Yeah, that's surreal. Sean and Yoko are your mom and dad. Oh, could you imagine? Adam Goldberg is here, Saving Private Ryan. Mm-hmm. Speaking of surreal, I mean, I'm sure you've given this some thought, but by the way, just a monumental, spectacular, important movie, and certainly on everyone's top 10 of all time.
Wow.
I easily. Listen, people talk about, they wax nostalgic about, It's a Wonderful Life or a lot of movies. But you know what? Newer movies are better. They are. Let's face it, movies are like cars. People can wax on about how great a '64 Mustang was and everything. Wait till you hop in and there's no air conditioning. Let's see how excited you are about that old Mustang. You got no airbag. You got a lap belt. It was great for what it was. It was great for its time. But this Private Ryan, just on special effects alone, and I know people don't like to factor that in. I mean, the upper crust types, they don't like to think that makes a difference. That is a special part of movie making that is a very big factor.
And they're put to good use in this.
Absolutely.
As opposed to some other summer films.
Yeah, they're not just blowing something up. I mean, it is a brilliantly crafted movie, and the idea that you're forever etched into the laser disc or the video cassette, and that this thing will go on forever.
I'm still not convinced, though. I think they'll find a way to cut me out of the laser disc or something like that, or I'll fade from the print.
Maybe they'll just fuzz out your face like the rap videos when someone has something on their T-shirt. I want to thank a listener of ours, Elvira. I'm pretty sure that's her name. She sent me a lovely card as well as a box of Godiva chocolates. Yeah, that is Elvira, isn't it, Drew?
I don't think you should thank her until you're sure that the chocolate isn't poisoned.
I just used the bathroom and I passed some nougat, so I think I'm out of the trouble.
You passed a razor blade?
Although everything I passed it looks suspiciously like nougat.
There's Godiva labeled on one side.
Stamped in, yeah. All right, so Drew, we ready to let me address a couple quick things. Going to the dentist tomorrow, so we're gonna have plenty to talk about tonight and tomorrow night. And as you know, Drew, I think my mouth is like the Golden Gate Bridge is when they paint it. They start on one end, and when they get to the other end, they just stop and go back because now the other end needs it. That is what's going on with my mouth in the dental industry. Also, somebody emailed me and wanted to know where they can buy decent boxing equipment in the Valley, the San Fernando Valley, I'm guessing. It's hard to. I don't know what it is, but boxing is the one sport that's not represented at the sporting goods stores. You can buy beautiful golf clubs, you can buy a NBA basketball, but you can't buy a good pair of regulation leather gloves. You get the one that's, they're vinyl and they're autographed by Ernie Shavers, and it's a piece of crap, and they don't have real equipment.
Bodies in Motion, don't they have that stuff?
Yeah, they have some. So that's a little pricey. Yeah. There's Ringside Catalogs, a place out of Kansas City. I think you should try to get that. That's pretty good. And some there's a lot of gyms and clubs and stuff. Permabills.
I keep getting emails about the question I posed about evolution and abuse. Why humans be wired in such a way that if they're abused as a young child, that gets wired into their behavior, their choices of relationships later. And people keep emailing me the same thing, that it's because they're having more kids. It's like, no. It's not what I'm asking. I'm asking what in the scheme of the universe, what would the advantage be of having people like that have more kids?
Yes. We're not saying why do screwed up people give birth to screwed up people. That's an easy one.
Or why do they have lots of them?
It's also like saying why do tall people give birth to tall offspring? Or no, this is easy. We're saying what advantage, if you're a Darwinist, let's say, what advantage is it in the human evolutionary process?
Excluding the fact that they have more kids and they tend to reproduce and create more disturbed people. Why would that be a good thing?
A girl who was brought up by an abusive alcoholic seek out an abusive alcoholic as a mate as an adult.
It makes better poetry.
I started wondering if it was a way to control population. Maybe they get enough of them around and they start sort of the people of that history don't tend to live
I'm
healthy lives.
I'm going to control the population through the water source.
But no delusions of grandeur.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, that's the way God planned it. Check?
Yeah.
All right, so 16 hurts when girlfriend gives him oral sex.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. She take a retainer out?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't hurt during other types, during masturbation or normal sex, but I have a condom on during normal sex, and it's whenever there's direct contact with, the head.
Where does it hurt?
It's not so much it hurts, it's just, uncomfortable. And I want to know if that's, normal, or it's just that I'm not used to the sensation or something.
You're uncircumcised?
Yeah.
All right, Adam's Joe, so let me handle this. Guys, it's very, very sensitive. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And usually the foreskin hangs over the head of the penis.
Right.
And then it gets exposed, and it's like too much sensation.
Yeah, it just gets uncomfortable, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like playing a video game on a roller coaster or something. Your head explodes. Figuratively.
It's the worst.
I mean, all right. They're not all gems. We got to kill 2 hours, 5 nights a week. This isn't the only show we're doing.
You're right.
We'll be sitting here tomorrow night with corn trying to entertain those guys. All right, so you're too sensitive.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you have to do. You have to slowly desensitize your penis. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You don't sound excited about this process.
Or just don't do things that,
hold on.
are
Shut Drew's mic. That's enough out of him. And his anti-foreskin rhetoric. Listen, Jack.
Yeah.
You need to toughen up the head of your penis.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Just like Adam and the rest of those actors went through that mini boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
You have to send your penis through a boot camp.
Through a bivouac.
Now, what you have to do is you have to peel the foreskin back and hit it with a mallet. No. Peel the foreskin back and let it dangle around in your pants half the day with the foreskin peeled back.
Now, what about that stay hard stuff? Doesn't that numb it? Can I desensitize it? Not that I have any concept of direct contact with that particular...
The elixir, the cream that you rub on. Drew, is there any...
And while we're at it, what about the Jeff Stryker pump? I'm sorry. I just needed to say Jeff Stryker pump on national radio.
He's big in the gay porn industry. Funny that Adam would reference a gay porn star.
Not really that funny.
Very interesting.
No, but...
So, Jack?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, your penis is too sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Pull the foreskin back and play like a good game of pickup basketball. you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's going to be uncomfortable, but in a couple of weeks, it'll toughen up, and you'll be used to having the foreskin pulled back.
Practicing the guitar.
Right.
Develop the calluses.
Right. Horseback riding. Or take one of those mules down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon with the foreskin pulled back. Do you understand what I'm saying, Jack?
Yeah, loads of fun.
No, I'm deadly serious, though.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Hey, jackass. Hey, I like the way I worked his name into an insult. Jack Hole. I'm serious. This is what it is. Okay. Because if...
Do you do... Nah, you obviously are
I have some
personal
experience.
Okay.
I believe you. No.
Okay.
I'm taking you to heart. Don't worry.
Okay.
And I say, if things don't feel good, those are the things you should avoid doing.
You see what happens to a 6-year-old guy when he's getting a lot of sex? It becomes an a-hole.
It's unnatural.
Yeah, it's unnatural.
But the kid is 16?
He's 16.
What's he complaining about?
He's getting all this oral sex. He's getting laid, and it sounds like I'm talking to a pissed-off executive who's in his mid-40s and going through a midlife crisis.
God.
Does this kid sound like a 16-year-old?
No.
You ever heard of him? He was like smug. He was.
I know. He's like, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, with the pretense. Yeah, fine. Joe.
Yeah.
You've been on hold for 110 minutes.
Damn straight.
Wow.
And you put him back on hold.
I didn't look at the time.
That's all right. You're forgiven.
Thank you. You're 17. So when did your cousin call in? Cousin called in before she's still getting molested by her dad.
Yeah, she called it 2 days ago.
Mm.
And her question was, she was having sex with her boyfriend, and she couldn't feel anything. And I was talking to her beforehand, before she called. We were waiting for you guys, and I was kind of like playing you, because I listen to you guys all the time. And I jokingly asked, have you ever been sexually molested? And she kind of stood there in the pause. I was like, I was like, no, you're kidding, right? And she's like, no. And it was who? She said, it's my dad. And she still lives with her dad, and she says he's been doing that since 6th grade.
How old is she?
She's 15. Since she was in 6th grade.
You got to call social services. You got to save her.
Do you know her dad?
Yeah.
Well,
I do. I lived across the street from them.
What's your assessment of him?
He's a big asshole.
All right.
Okay.
Let me give you a phone number you can call and begin getting some advice on exactly where to go next with this.
Do you have a pad and pencil?
Can I get it real quick?
Yeah. Drew, don't just start shotgunning these numbers. You think people are sitting there with like a steno pad and licking the end of a number 2 pencil?
Yeah, but shocked that we should give them a phone number? I mean, if they want guidance, they should be prepared.
I know, but don't just give the number.
Yeah, I understand.
You let them go get the pad.
You there? Maybe not.
Don't go to your friend's house to get the frickin' pad, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You ready?
Yeah.
1-800.
Okay, 1-800.
422. 4453.
4453.
1-800-422-4453.
All right, so call what? Call her and he should call that number. Or
Call
she
them,
should?
and you're going to need to initiate a process with Child Protective Services because this situation has got to stop.
I told her.
She may be. It's probably necessary though that she is willing to blow the whistle.
She's not, because I mean their family already has a lot of problems. I mean, she has a younger sister. And I believe that her older sister too got molested because she's living there with the baby without the dad around. And she's only 19, and she's really, an extremely weak person. And I suspect that she doesn't know for sure, but I suspect that she was also. And the mom doesn't know anything about this.
How did you get out of here unscathed?
It's my grandmother's sister.
Grandmother's sister.
So it's my great aunt, so it's my second cousin.
Oh, okay.
So luckily my grandmother.
Right.
Was
right.
Better at picking.
All right, you call that number, call 10 times.
Yeah,
call for the whole
you
family.
may end up having to put her on the line with them to try to get her come around to alerting some social services about
but
this.
She should get out of that house.
This is a disaster.
Well, she's 15. She thinks, Daddy's giving her attention. There's a part of her that feels responsible.
Yeah.
That feels like she's indulging it somehow, and that she's like an accomplice. And this whole thing is a disaster. And the thing that's a real disaster about it is you'll never get over it. She's 15. She's ruined. And she's damned. She's damned. Go ahead and try to put as nice a spin on this as possible. I'm telling you, she is damned.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
swear to God, she is damned.
She will never be the same.
She can have a bunch of therapy. If in a best case scenario, with years of therapy, with the right partner, so on and so forth, she can scratch out a life for herself. But that's in a best case scenario.
But there's hope.
No. No, there isn't. The reality is she's going to pick out an abuser, have a couple of kids, and then that kid's going to kill one of our kids. That's the way society's going. And here's my plan is to just get people to quit having kids. I mean, this son of a bitch has 3 daughters, and one of them's pregnant. Yeah, you understand? I want guys like this just put down early when you're 19. I swear to God, I want to run this country like a society, not just a group of freewheeling individuals. Hey, you go knock up a bunch of people and molest them, and then they can just go rob a liquor store and leech off the government and then molest your kid. I don't want that. Either you participate or you don't. And if you're going to feel up kids, and if you're going to rob people at knife point, and if you're going to engage in whatever activity that I deem inappropriate, I mean, I'll talk to one of my buddies about it too. I mean, it'll be a little tribunal, but then you have to be put down. Wouldn't we all agree that the father of this individual, we'd all be better off if he died?
This guy is an asshole.
20 years ago, can we agree on that?
Yeah.
That he is. I mean, can we do that? I mean, we can all agree that we'd be better off if Hitler was dead. What about a guy who just molests all his kids?
Interesting you should bring up Hitler in the context of your current diatribe.
That's right.
What about
all right.
foreskin?
No, I'm going to goose step to the bathroom, and then we'll be back with Adam Goldberg.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
Loveline. Exclusively on Tucson's New Rock, 92.1 KFMA.
Cop and a half, I think, that Burt Reynolds movie. I think that the half cop could have stopped them. All right, I'm disgusted with all of you. Sometimes I like to just not say anything and see how long it takes Drew to say something. 5-10 minutes go by sometimes.
Now, see, this is a sad state of affairs. My girlfriend just paged me. Doesn't she realize that I'm on the radio, or just, doesn't care?
Women are very needy. I don't know.
Can we talk about that?
If you know that.
And I also think she dialed in 7 digits. Oh well.
Drew, you get pages all night long, right?
Yep.
People are where you do a radio. How long? Let me ask you a question, Drew. How long have you done this radio show?
15 years.
And you get paged between the time of 10 p.m. and 12 a.m.
Every night.
Every night. Constantly. Even though you've been doing the show in this city for 15 years.
Yes.
Would you reckon that the people that are paging aren't aware that you're doing
some aren't.
Right.
You guys should advertise the show or something.
We really got to get it out there.
Yeah.
Drew? All right. Alex.
Hey.
You're 13.
Hey. Huh?
How old are you?
15. But anyway.
Oh, that is a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is. Adam Goldberg is here from Same Private Ryan.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Well, Adam's the show host guy.
You mean Ace Raccola?
Can we call you
Yeah,
Steve?
the cool guy.
It's just not catching on, is it?
That's
Mr.
right.
Spielberg.
Adam, you kick ass. You guys are doing a major service for, like, L.A. and everybody else who's listening. Drew, you're like the conscience I never had. Adam G.
You're only 15, Alex.
Oh, come on. It's all right. Adam G. Goldberg, dude.
Yeah.
That was a really cool movie. I really felt touched by it.
Oh, good.
It really opened my eyes up to what really happened.
That's
and
awesome.
I think that not a lot of people actually understand what our grandparents and what people did for the country back then. What kind of sacrifices were made?
Yeah, if it weren't for them, we probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And I was just wondering, what did you go through during the movie? I mean, what were your feelings?
Well, it was overwhelming, kind of just in a physical way. It was a really exhausting shoot, and so that was sort of what I was experiencing almost more than anything else.
Why was it so overwhelming?
It was just I don't have the physical constitution necessarily for that sort of thing, and it was a lot of waking up after a few hours of sleep and like taking a machine gun nest.
He went to that hippie school.
Yeah, exactly. We drove from classroom to classroom.
Right, it actually indoors.
Yeah, trams. Yeah. But it's weird. In hindsight, I find myself much more moved by this experience than most any other that I've ever participated in.
Did you film the whole thing in England?
The D-Day sequence was shot in Ireland, and the rest was shot in England. And now if I read a story about a veteran, or even just read much of the same sort of historical stuff that I had read before the shoot. It has a whole other effect on me, and I just find myself just really connected to that time period, which before, and I think for a lot of people sort of over-sentimentalized, the 40s and that war, the good war, and there's a certain nostalgia associated with it, which is dangerous because, I think it's important for people to realize just how brutal, that war was and certainly how historically important it is,
And I would like to tack this on to that statement, which is art is a real powerful TV, theater, movies,
TV art,
even not as we know it. Somewhere in Europe they have to have something going on, but it is a powerful medium. I mean, it really is, and it's squandered. I feel it's not only squandered, but they burn it like the flag and step on the ashes. Yeah. And this is one of the things that pisses me off to no end about this community, this Hollywood community, which is a movie like Saving Private Ryan or even Schindler's List or there's a handful of others have the ability to reach more people than there's been 10,000 books written on the Holocaust, but I guarantee that Schindler's List reached and touched more people and educated more people and made more people feel the gravity of a situation like the Holocaust and all those books put together. I really know it, at least another generation. And I'll say the same thing about Saving Private Ryan, about World War II. And it's a powerful medium that is completely squandered because everyone's working on Booty Call 3 and all this other nonsense.
Before they've made Booty Call 2, which is really the depressing thing. They're just going straight to 3.
I was making fun of Stephen J. Cannell last night on the radio about doing A-Team and Stingray and all this Renegade and all this other nonsense. But I believe that these people are criminals. I really do. Mm-hmm. We should have some sort of Nuremberg war tribunal. We should bring up.
Well, that's a little harsh, but yeah.
No, we'll get Aaron Spellings, we'll get Dick Clark, and we'll get Stephen J. Cannell, and we'll hang them. You've been found guilty of cranking out trash. But I believe that if the people would stop asking what movie and what TV show what we do, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, and I'll get off my pulpit for 1 second. They do this thing. They have this audience testing thing. They do this thing where they take a group of idiots. And they know they got to work the group out. I mean, one black idiot, 2 white idiots, a Mexican idiot, a pregnant idiot, a woman idiot, and men between 18 and 34 that are all idiots. We'll put them all in a room, and then we'll ask these idiots what they want to see. And I guarantee none of them are going to say, we want to see a movie that documents World War II.
Right.
I guarantee none of them's going to say that.
Right.
They want to see Booty Call 3.
Right.
But your job is not to cave in to those idiots. And it's the same with TV. I don't give a rat's hiney what the idiots in America want to see on TV. You people that make TV, go ahead and stretch out a little.
Right.
Set your goals a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can do better work and bring people with you. Don't stoop down to them. We know these people are idiots. They work at the effing post office. For Christ's sake, they sort mail all night long.
Can you say effing?
Oh, I can't say anything.
Really?
Yeah, Engineer Mike has a dump button. He can take care of it. You see, nobody wanted to see Schindler's List. Nobody wanted to see Saving Private Ryan. I mean, these aren't movies that people wanted to have made.
Yeah, and that was the surprising thing about it, as no one was quite sure how well it would do, and maybe just veterans would go and see it. And then the amazing thing is that how moved people who are like 15 and 16, 17
people respond to reality and quality. Yes,
and
they know it.
The industry has to learn that. You do good work, people know it. You do word of mouth is paramount when it comes to anything. TV, books,
but it has to
features,
be quality, and ring true for people though. It has to resonate some truth,
right?
In a global way,
right?
Bigger,
Thank you. Okay, that's enough, Adam.
That is indeed.
Bob, you're 27.
Hey, how's it going, Adam?
Good.
Drew?
Bob?
And Drew.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's an Adam.
I'm sorry, and Adam. Hey, I was wondering, I've been born with hydrocephalus, and I was shunted at 6 weeks with my original shunt.
Mm-hmm. Been on hold for 128 minutes.
Dedicated, aren't I?
Oh, no kidding.
Hydrocephalus is a blockage in the circulation of cerebral spinal fluid that causes the pressure to build up in the brain, and the ventricles enlarge and sort of squash the brain tissue.
Adam, we testified Drew's not looking at JAMA. He's not reading from a medical book.
He's staring straight ahead.
He didn't study the screen and make notes on the call.
No, he's reading the cue cards on his soul.
Then the shunting is they'll drill a hole in the head and drop a drain right in here that will go down the side behind the ear and drain into the abdomen.
Yeah, and if the guy does it on the weekends, he charges you golden time, right?
And when when your first one is done at 6 weeks of age, very often they have to be redone and redone and redone.
Yeah, that one was originally into the right ventricle.
Oh, okay, right.
And because that was back in '69.
Right.
And, you know, like you said, periodically they had to be redone. However, when I was 15 and a half, it failed. So basically, you know, getting to my question, which caused a major shunt failure, which acted like a stroke.
What caused it?
No, it
it clogs up.
It pulled out of my heart.
Oh, it moved. Okay.
Yeah, because of my growth spurt.
Okay.
And basically, what my question is, I know I'm a little nervous still.
That's all right.
It was when I was 15 and a half this happened, and ever since then I've been having seizures of all kinds. You know, grand mal, petit mal, psychomotor. I've been on the gamut of the, you know,
seizure meds.
Yeah, Depakote, what I'm doing now.
Okay. Right.
Tegretol, phenobarb, Dilantin. Nothing seems to
I'm getting a contact high. I don't know about you, Adam. Hey, Bob, we got to go to break in a few seconds, so, Drew?
But some people have severe seizures that break through all the medication or all the combinations of medicine. And there are some surgical options that are available. There are research medications, and there's pushing the medications you have, and sometimes you just have to tolerate breakthroughs once in a while.
Right, can I ask 2 quick questions?
Yeah. You know what?
What's that?
We got to go to break. Drew, we've talked to Bob off the air?
Sure.
Oh, great. Thanks, Drew.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Drew doesn't talk to many people off the air.
Hey, I feel privileged.
He doesn't even talk to me or producer Ann off the air.
Why not, Drew? Oh, you're married. That's right.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck, man.
He's going in the next room, Bob, so I'm going to put you on holding.
Thanks a lot, Adam.
All right. Take care of yourself, buddy. All right, we'll be back.
Oh, yeah. Everybody now.
Loveline will be right back.
Loveline. Exclusively on Tucson's New Rock, 92.1 KFMA.
Hi, this is Ariana Huffington, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
She really sounds like
Eva Gabor.
She sounds like Eva Gabor, doesn't she? That's exactly what I was going to say.
Who was it?
Ariana Huffington. We got to get her to say, then I get her to say, this is a Filmways presentation, darling. Adam, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Adam.
Saving Private Ryan. Go see it a second time, everybody. Drew, see it for first time.
I will.
And keep an eye out for Scotch and Milk and, of course, Ed TV.
Which we might be screening, Scotch and Milk, that is, in about 2 weeks. And check out the website. I know not the address, but there is one if you look in a search engine.
Oh, we have an email address we're just instructed to give out. Earthlink.net. Is that right, ladies? Email earthlink.net. Loveline at earthlink.net.
No one is less involved with his own show than Dr. Drew is. And by the way, all you
did you know that?
Call me a sidekick or his co-host, please. Ridiculous. The guy doesn't even know the website.
What's
no,
the website?
I have no idea.
Okay, all right.
All right, so until next time.
Wait, did Adam finish his little...
All my plugs?
Yes.
Oh, I have one more shameless plug.
Yeah, go ahead.
I executive produced a jazz album called Changes. Phil Maturano is the jazz drummer who's in my film Scotch and Milk. You can buy it, I guess, also on the web. Everything's on the web.
All right.
So there you have it.
Get a computer and mount it. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily those of the staff or management or producers or directors or the advertising or anyone. They might be Bob's.
I'm Bob, and they're mine.
The producer of Loveline is Ann Wilkins. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.
Wait, now return.